Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Monday, August 19th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Seattle Mariners versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 10 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Monday, everyone. And on the left, we have Julio Rodriguez. And on the right, it's showtime. Shohei Ohtani. Now let's get into the starting lineup here first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. And this is actually one of the best lineups the Mariners have provided, not only for Bryan Woo, for any pitcher this season. I think that if we can end up winning this game tonight, that we will have a chance to win at least one more out of the 3-game set. Now, if we drop this first game, we're potentially going to get swept or only win one. So if we can win with Bryan Woo, that's really going to be the main calling of this series. Let's go. Leading off for the Mariners in center field, we need you to get off to a hot start. Victor Robles. Batting second, playing left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting third, catching tonight for the Mariners, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Trident's up, baby. Seattle Mariners best player in 2024. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, DHing tonight for Seattle, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Batting fifth, playing second base, it's Polo Jorge Polanco. Batting sixth, playing right field this evening, Luke Raley. Batting seventh and coming back to Dodger Stadium, first baseman Justin Turner. And he'll definitely get a standing ovation and a lot of claps from the fans there in Dodger Stadium tonight. He is very, very loved. Batting eighth, playing third base for the Mariners, Hollywood, Josh Rojas. And batting ninth, playing second base for Seattle, it's Demo Dylan Moore. And on the mound for the Mariners, with a 5-1 record, an ERA of 2.06, you already know who it is. It is Bryan Woo. And if we're going to have any chance in this game here tonight, Bryan Woo has got to pitch 6 to 7 innings. And if he can be pretty clean, give up 2 runs or less, even 3 runs or less, we're going to have a chance in this game late. Obviously, the magic number for the Mariners is going to be 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. Typically, when we hit that number, we're going to win 90 to 95%. We might have to put up 5 because it is the Dodgers at home. But again, it's not like the Dodgers are unbeatable. They are one of the best teams in baseball and very good at home. But if Bryan Woo can do his job, and he's been playing like the best pitcher for the Mariners as of late. And remember, we have Logan Gilbert, the all-star. We got George Kirby, who plays like an all-star, as well as Bryce Miller and Luis Castillo. So Bryan Woo, used to be the 5 in the rotation. But right now, you can argue he's definitely in the top 3. And some would say he might be the best pitcher for the Mariners as of today, right now. Let's go, Bryan. All right, let's get into the starting lineup here for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I know, Dad, you are watching GG Dodgers, and hopefully you guys don't blow us out in this 3-game set. Leading off for the Dodgers, DHing in the 1 hole, Shohei Ohtani. It's showtime, baby. Batting second, playing right field, Mookie Betts. Batting third, playing first base, Freddie Freeman. And it looks like Freddie is dealing with an injury, but he's going to play through it. He is in the lineup here tonight. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, the former Blue Jay and Mariner, left fielder, Teoscar Hernandez. He's been balling out since he joined the Dodgers, and he's been good everywhere he's been. He's good in Toronto, he was good in Seattle, and he's great in LA. They better sign him for a long-term extension to keep Teoscar in LA for the rest of his career. I know I would if I was in LA. Batting fifth, playing second base, Gavin Lux. Batting sixth, catching tonight for the Dodgers, Will Smith. Batting seventh, playing third base, Mad Max Muncy. Batting eighth, playing shortstop for the Dodgers, Miguel Rojas. And batting ninth, joining the Dodgers from the Cardinals, center fielder, Tommy Edman. And on the mound for the Dodgers with a 10-5 record, ERA of 3.63, it is Gavin Stone. Let's go, baby. And we're going to be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall. We're always going to be shooting for 100 in the donos on every single stream. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. It's the most important thing you can do every single day that you wake up. Addiction, depression, anxiety, these are things that not only have I gone through, but I know some of y'all are going through it now, or you guys have in the past. So if you're slipping into the darkness a little bit, make some minor adjustments to your daily routine. If you're not exercising, exercise more. If you're not eating healthy, eat a little bit healthier. And listen to 30 minutes of music, spend time with your pets, family, and friends. You do those three basic things, and you'll come out the other side a little bit quicker, and you can help yourself win the day. All right, baby, here we go. Seattle Mariners versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. Good luck, my daddy. I know you've been a Dodger fan since the 50s. This is not going to be easy, and hopefully we can bring our bats here today, and Brian Wu can have a solid outing. I'm excited, man. And again, this is a particular series that every single year, even if my dad wasn't a hardcore Dodger fan since the 50s, I would definitely get up for this type of matchup. Again, anytime you play the best of the best, Dodgers, Yankees, Phillies, Orioles, Guardians, whoever it may be, you know that they're going to bring their A game. And if you look at their lineup, when they end up posting their lineups on social media about 3 hours before the game starts, normally I'm thinking, this is maybe a B lineup, or, this is a C lineup, or, oh, God, this is an F lineup. We're not giving our pitcher any help. We got a bunch of these backups in there. Today, looking at this particular lineup, it actually might be the strongest lineup on paper with Brian Wu all season. And not only for just Brian Wu, maybe for any pitcher. If you're looking at the lineup, Robles, Arozarena, Raleigh, Julio, Polo, Raley, and Turner are both playing, Rojas and Demo. I mean, the only thing that you could upgrade is maybe J.P. Crawford for Demo if J.P. Crawford didn't have the broken pinky. But besides that, looking pretty good. And I feel that Brian Wu can pitch 6 to 7 innings, give up 3 runs or less. 1 or 2 would be great, but let's be real, this is the Dodgers. But if we can give it 3 runs or less given up with Brian Wu, hopefully it's like a lights out night and it's only like 1 or 2. If that's the case, there might be a way for those bats to heat up enough where we might be able to win 4-3, maybe 5-4. But again, if Brian Wu doesn't pitch well and then he ends up getting knocked out within the first 3, 4, 5 innings, it might be a long, long night. And again, if we don't win this first game, we're probably only going to win 1 or none in this series. So we got to set the tone. We got Brian Wu on the mound today, Bryce Miller tomorrow against Walker Buehler, who's been struggling, coming back from the injury. And then obviously on the last matchup, I believe we have Logan Gilbert against Flaherty. So I like our chances in every pitching matchup, but the bats need to be able to come alive. Let's go, baby. Matt in the building. What's good? How are you? Great post with your Oregon Duck breakdown with all the plays that are attached in the thread. Fantastic job. And I can't wait to watch the Ducks take on Idaho here just around the corner. We're almost there, baby. Get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Got a Twitter/X account. Want to do your boy a solid and like and retweet the post. That'll get us some more people here. I definitely appreciate that. DX in the building. What's good? Cap Norio in the building. What's good? Let's go, baby. Megan in the building. What's good? How are you guys? Fantastic Monday. Monday Night Raw as well. What a fantastic Monday evening we have got here tonight. $20 holla. Ooh, the policies. I see you. Thank you so much for your support. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. $20 holla. 80 to go to hit our first initial goal. Thank you for the like and the share, Megan, on the Twitter/X. And there's a reason why Megan is a GOAT. She's always holding it down for me and Paisley on the channel. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to take her to the vet here on Wednesday. Looks like she might have gotten bit by a spider or some type of bug, either at home while we were sleeping or on one of the walks. So hopefully everything will be okay. And it's not a huge, hefty vet bill, but any type of bill you typically see with a vet is over $100. But hopefully for Paisley's sake, everything is okay. And I'm hoping that we end up having a good matchup here this evening. Top of the first, 0-0, Mariners and Dodgers. Stone, 0-1 pitch to Robles. Pitches inside, behind in the count now, 0-2. Come on, let's go. Kryptoni in the building, what's good? Jason in the building, what's good? Pitches outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. DX with the 5, appreciate you. Ian Paisley say thank you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Let's go. And I'll get photos obviously lined up once we go throughout the commercial breaks. Jason with $1, appreciate you. Pitches low and into the dirt, 2-2 count. Appreciate you, Jason. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Every dollar counts. Even if it's only $1, it all adds up at the end of the day. Reflect with a 3-er. Appreciate you. 2-2 pitch from Stone to Robles. Chopper towards third, foul. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. $3 holla. Great start with the support, with the likes, as well as the dono train. Appreciate you guys. Again, let's go Red Sox. I know I saw that. They did have a little bit of a lead, but let's see if they hang on. Stone right down the middle. Robles, big swing and a miss on a 2-2 count. 1 away. Nice pitch there by Gavin Stone. And again, this is not going to be easy. 10-5 record. 10 wins, 5 losses. ERA at 3.63. We're going to have to get these bats to come alive. Normally when Victor Robles gets a hit in his first 2 at-bats, 1 or the 2, it's a good sign. Strikes out there, and hopefully Randy Arozarena can pick up the pace. First pitch to Randy from Stone on the corner for a strike. Come on, baby. We got to be able to get some hits early on within the first 3 innings would be great. We have to set the tone. Let's go. Pitch on the corner. Wow, unbelievable. This ump is calling everything for Stone. Already behind in the count again. 0-2 to Robles, 0-2 to Randy. Come on. Come on. 0-2 pitch. Pitch is low and into the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh, no worries. I appreciate you, Megan. Yeah, I did end up watching the NASCAR race from yesterday, and then obviously it got rained out at Michigan. I woke up early at 8 a.m. to watch the end of the race. Tyler Reddick with the dub. Little dribbler. Underhand flip to first to Freddie Freeman. Randy Arozarena, 2 away. Come on, guys. Let's go. We need you, Mariners. Next up, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. Best nickname in baseball by a landslide. And let's get those tridents up, baby. Let's go. There is a good possibility for Cal Raleigh to hit a homer in this series. I'm not sure if I feel it like I had my ESP, obviously, last game, and I called the home run. But I definitely feel that Cal will homer in this series, but it might not be tonight. Just my gut feeling. I would love for him to do it, don't get me wrong. But my gut and the sports gods, I don't really feel a home run necessarily, but I hope I'm wrong, and I hope it ends up being a big one, like a 3-run homer or a grand salami. That would be great. But he can still be efficient with a couple singles or doubles or RBIs if he is not getting a home run or a dinger here tonight. Top of the first, 0-0, 3-0-2 counts to start out the game. Who is this? Angel Hernandez? Come on. Let's go, baby. 0-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Cal Raleigh. And a very easy 1-2-3 inning for Gavin Stone. Victor Robles, see you later. Randy Arozarena, see you later. Cal Raleigh, see you later. And now we're going to have to rely on our guy, our ace, arguably our best pitcher right now today, even over Logan Gilbert and George Kirby. It's the 5-1 record, ERA of 2.06, Bryan Woo. Drastically improved. And you could argue he is probably, I don't even know if it's really an argument, but he might be the most improved pitcher overall from last year, and to this year. If you're actually looking at not only the record, his ERA, I mean, really the only bad thing about Bryan Woo is just kind of a concern of injuries, kind of like Michael Penix Jr. I know he's going to be a good player for Atlanta once he gets a chance after Kirk Cousins. Now, Kirk might end up having an ACL, Achilles tear, some kind of a mishap, and we might see Michael this year. But certain guys, they might be known as maybe injury prone, or they were injury prone maybe earlier in their career. I don't really have any worries about Michael on the Falcons moving forward, but that is one thing maybe about Bryan Woo. He might be a little bit more injury prone and fragile than the other four, but I'll tell you what, when Bryan Woo is healthy, he is just as good, if not better, than even our two best, Logan Gilbert and George Kirby. We have a big three now. Okay, Luis Castillo is a 4, Bryce Miller is a 5, and I might even put Bryce at the 4 and Luis at the 5 if I'm being really honest, but we still got an amazing staff, but hopefully Bryan Woo will keep it going. Let's go, and let's take a quick look here at the Dodger starting lineup. Leading off for the Dodgers in the bottom of the first in Dodger Stadium, Shohei Ohtani. It's showtime, baby. Batting second, right fielder, Mookie Betts. And batting third, first baseman, Freddie Freeman. Let's go, baby. And I'll try to sprinkle in some photos once we get into the next commercial break. Appreciate you guys. Let's go, baby. But I agree, DX. NASCAR was fun. And again, we're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. I didn't get to watch any of the IndyCar, and then you said F1 is coming up this weekend, and we're going to get some college football coming up here pretty soon too as well. I believe Florida State is playing the first game this Saturday for college football, and it's the only game. And then the following weekend, we'll have all of the games for week 1. Bottom of the first, 0-0, 0-1 pitch to Shohei Ohtani from Bryan Woo. Pitch is high and inside at Shohei's face. 1 ball and 1 strike. Let's go, baby. Try to minimize the damage of the first 4 guys in the order. Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, even though he's hurt, and a little Teoscar Hernandez. 1-1 pitch. Pitch is inside. Now lost it there. 2 balls and 1 strike. Anybody get a chance to watch Monday Night Raw while it was on? Started a couple hours ago. Unless you're on the West Coast like me, I don't get it until 8 p.m. Pacific when it airs for me. But I didn't get a chance to watch any of it just yet. 2-1 pitch from Woo to Ohtani. Ohtani crushes that one. Foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ohtani. Yeah, and then NHL as well. Definitely excited for the Kraken, and we'll be doing lots of matchups of them as well. Shohei, little dribbler, right past Hollywood Josh Rojas, and a single out to left field into Randy Arazarena's pocket. Shohei Ohtani getting it started with a single to left field right out of the gates. Nice job by Showtime. Next up for the Dodgers, right fielder, Mookie Betts. PJ in the building, what's good? JH in the building, what's good? Oh, you were? Badass, dude. I love racing, man. Like, if you know me, obviously I love NFL and college football. I love WWE and AEW. I'm always going to love football and wrestling, but definitely got a lot of love for not only the MLB, but NASCAR, racing in general. And then obviously when we get closer to the NHL season, it could be a lot of fun as we transition into that. Obviously after we get baseball and NASCAR to wrap up. Mookie chops that one foul behind in the count 0-2. We could really use a nice double play here right out of the gates. Either a strikeout or a double play. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the first, 0-0. Runner at first, Shohei Ohtani. Woo, 0-2 pitch. Got him, baby. Yes, sir. That's the Brian Woo that I know, baby. Hell yeah. Anytime you can get one of their superstars out, again, it's going to be very, very difficult. Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez. Name any other team in baseball that's got 4 better players than those 4. I dare you. I don't think there is a team. There's a couple teams that have a lineup close to those 4 guys. But again, you got to think Shohei, Mookie, and Freddie are Hall of Fame, and Teoscar is trying to be. And he's doing a pretty good job up to this point in his career. He's definitely been a good player everywhere he's been. Good in Toronto, good in Seattle. Obviously great, here in the Dodgers. And if he plays the rest of his career in LA, Teoscar will probably be a Hall of Famer. But again, if he ends up not playing the rest of his career in LA, he might be one of those guys that's borderline Hall of Fame, but maybe doesn't make it. Freddie popped up. Randy Arozarena is there in left field. There we go, 2 away. I like that. Nice job, Brian. 4 to 7 Ks. We're not going to be getting 8, 9, or 10, but if we can get 4 to 7, a lot of pop-ups and ground outs, maybe a couple lucky double plays, that's what we're going to need. Nothing there for Freddie with the pop-up. Next up, the former Blue Jay and Mariner left fielder, Teoscar Hernandez. Absolute stud. Obviously he had a problem with the Mariners striking out a little bit too much, but hell, who didn't for the Mariners last year? Same thing with us this year. We got a lot of guys that, got low batting average and struck out a lot, but obviously when you're surrounded around talent like Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman, chances are your batting average will go up and you'll make better decisions. Freddie, Shohei. Uh-oh. Wow. Ohtani, are you kidding? Safe at first? Wow. Shohei got caught there slipping a little bit. How did we not get the tag on him? And Justin Turner just out of position, and Shohei had enough on the base path to kind of avoid the potential tag, dives and reaches over. Nice job by Shohei to get back to first base there. Bottom of the first, 0-0. Runner at first, Ohtani, 2 outs, 0-1 count from Woo to Teoscar. I don't think, J-Rod, as far as popularity is concerned, he'll definitely be a top 10, top 5 popular player in MLB for his whole career. But based off his stat line, overall, he doesn't really deserve to be on there unless you're just trying to do it based off popular players. If you're doing it based off popular players, yeah, he should be on MLB The Cover. But if you're doing it based off the stats, not so much. He definitely isn't deserving. But in the last 5 games, he is batting around 350. Since he came back from the injury. Started off his first start 0-5 at DH and has gotten at least 1 hit since. Big swing and a miss for Teoscar. Got him with the nice punch out, Brian Woo. And again, it all depends on the classifications anytime you get on Madden or if you get on the cover of MLB or 2K. But sometimes it ends up being a curse, especially Madden. If you get on that cover, sometimes that following year, you end up having a season-ending injury or you end up having a shitty year overall. So again, if it's based off popularity, yes, but, based off numbers, no, man, there's a lot of other players that are much more deserving. Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani. But if you're really looking at players that are deserving, that are like Julio, that are more deserving this year, I can name 2 right out of the gates. 1, Bobby Witt Jr., definitely deserving, balling out. And number 2, Gunnar Henderson. Those are 2 guys from the Royals and the Orioles that really put their name out there. We already knew that Bobby came in at the same time as Julio, and it took him a little bit longer to get the groove. But he's been an amazing player for the Royals since he's been there, right? And then Gunnar Henderson had his breakout year, obviously, this year as well. But if it wasn't any of those guys, you could always fall back on Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge. Having those guys on the cover, you could literally alternate those 2 guys back and forth, and I don't think anyone would blink an eye. Let me know what you guys want to do for photos. Megan, you let me know, obviously, since you were first. And then as far as everyone else, you let me know, and I got you. Megan, DX, Jason, Reflect, if you have anybody, let me know. All right, end of the first inning. At least Brian Wu didn't give up 1 to 4 runs. And normally that's the case. If we end up not giving up 1 to 4 runs within the first 2 innings, usually we're good to go. And Brian Wu looks good. He doesn't look shaky. He looks confident, and that's exactly what we need. Leading off for the Mariners here in the top of the second, DHing for Seattle, Julio Rodriguez. Batting second in the inning in the 5-hole, second baseman Jorge Polanco. And batting third, right fielder Luke Raley. Let's go, baby. We need you, Luke. Let's get it. Anson, Glenn Hack. I got you. Julio, there we go with another hit. He's been fantastic coming back from the injury, and that's exactly what we needed. And if we can get the spark out of Julio, and we can get that also out of one of our favorite players, J.P. Crawford, that might be the shot in the arm that the Mariners need to kind of get back on track. Nice job, Julio Rodriguez, my boy. Had a 350 average in the last 5 games. Not including that hit right there. So I like what I'm seeing here out of Julio Rodriguez. Next up, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Pitch right down the middle to Polo. 0-1 count. Man, this ump is just calling all strikes for the Dodgers here. What's good, Zay? Matty Beniers, okay, I got you. 0-1 pitch from Stone to Jorge Polanco. 1 ball and 1 strike. And then, Megan, I know that you're on social media as much as I am, and you probably saw it when they dropped the news this morning, even though it might have been later when you woke up in Australia. But they, the Disney and obviously their group canceled The Acolyte, so we're not going to get a season 2. But I kind of thought it was the worst one out of all of them, based on just like plot, storyline, the acting. And, I didn't think it was necessarily horrible like some people, but I can definitely see why that they scrapped the project. And it might be for some people they enjoyed it, but again, I feel if you compare it to every other side project that Disney and Star Wars has put out, it was by far the worst one. Pitch is low and into the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes at the knees. Like I said, there was moments in the show where I thought a couple episodes were okay, but then there was a couple episodes where I was like, man, this isn't very good. Like, based off the storyline and the plot and, and some of the, lightsaber battle scenes and whatnot. Check swing. Did he go? And he went around. Polo with the strikeout. Nice job by Gavin Stone. I see you. Give Gavin Stone some love. But wasn't really too surprised when I read that this morning. And I figure, most Star Wars fans, if you're really a hardcore fan and you watched them all, most people would agree it definitely was one of their weaker projects, especially if they dropped $180 million, to do the project. And that's what we got. My God, give us a better product. Star Wars fans deserve better. Top of the second, 0-0, Mariners and Dodgers. Runner at first, Julio Rodriguez with 1 out. Next up is Luke Raley. Let's go, Luke. Pitch to Luke. Foul about. Oh, baby. Foul back. Behind in the count, 0-2. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Appreciate the like on the post, TX. There we go. Now it's obviously coming through. I don't know what's going on, if it's your Twitter/X settings or whatnot. But yeah, anytime, big swing and a miss. Down goes Luke Raley from Gavin Stone. And anytime you end up posting something and you like it and you share it, and if you don't see it on your timeline as a 1 and a 1, and it stays like a blank and a blank, or if you go to my, page and it's blank and blank, something's wrong either with Twitter/X or your personal settings. So I know that you did it again. It was like your 3rd time, and it finally went through. So I don't know what kind of settings you might have on there. But again, for whatever reason, whenever you're liking and sharing, it wasn't showing up on my end. Next up, for the Mariners, with a big standing ovation from the Dodger faithful, first baseman Justin Turner. And he spent 9 years in LA, won a World Series there. So, this guy is very well beloved. And it was one of me and my dad's favorite players when he was on the Dodgers with Kike Hernandez. They don't have to necessarily be the best players like Mookie, Freddie, or Shohei Ohtani or Teoscar Hernandez. But sometimes when you get those guys that are like the fourth best player or fifth best player, that's okay. You don't got to be the best guy on the team, but as long as you come up big and in certain situations, clutch moments, your name will have a legacy forever. And JT Redturn definitely did that in LA. Then he went to Boston, made some memories, then went to Toronto, and then kind of played DH. They kind of gave him that role, thinking that, you're 59 and your career is almost over. But JT is showing you on the Mariners that he can not only DH, but he can play first base as well. 1-1 pitch. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Gavin Stone. Top of the second, 0-0 Mariners and Dodgers. Runner at first with 2 outs. JT fouls that one off towards first base. Foul, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two pitch. Pitch is outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count is full from Gavin Stone to Justin Turner. Let's go, baby. Three-two pitch to Turner. Dribbler towards third base. Throw to first. Freeman is there. Got him. We leave one stranded. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning. We're still knotted up here at 0. Let's try to get some photos in here quickly during the commercial breaks. Appreciate you. Squeezing them in. Appreciate you. And we'll get a few more loaded here as we go to the next commercial break. And we'll get Matty Beniers for DX. And we'll do some hack at the next commercial break. We'll end up doing Kraken stuff here. We'll do hack and we'll do some Matty Beniers there for DX as we go to the next commercial break. Let's go. I mean, you know, everyone's going to have a method to your madness, you know, in fantasy football. I mean, like I said, everyone, you know, has a different type of strategy, and it really depends on how you feel and where you're going to go. You know, like I said, if you're going to go wide receiver, you're going to go wide receiver, running back, you know, are you going to go running back, wide receiver, running back, wide receiver, running back, wide receiver, running back. So you have to have a method to your madness, you know, on where you're going to go. So again, you know, we already know there's more wide receivers that are, you know, top tier than there are running backs. So, but running backs are more prone to get injured than wide receivers. So, like I said, last year I ended up having Jay Jetta, Amon-Ra, Mike Evans, and Keenan Allen. But by the time it got to the championship, I only was able to use like 2 of those guys out of the 4. So, you can still end up drafting really, really well, but you have to pray a little bit that your guys don't end up getting hurt. So, there might be other guys on that list besides those 2 that you may want to go. But, Breece Hall as a number 1 pick overall seems like that's something that the media is pushing on a lot of fans to do. But I don't think I would be picking. If you're going to go number 1 pick, you're going to go Christian McCaffrey over Breece Hall. Like, Breece Hall might be great, with the Jets and with Aaron Rodgers, Aaron. But there's no way in hell I'm picking Breece Hall over Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey, he might end up getting hurt, but he's going to get you receiving touchdowns, and he's going to get you touchdowns on the ground. It would be very hard-pressed not to go Christian McCaffrey with the first pick. And if you didn't go Christian McCaffrey, if you wanted to go a guy like Tyreek Hill, I could see that. That could be a possibility. But there's, quite a few, definitely not quarterback. You don't want to go to your quarterback until roughly the 4th or 5th round. And I think you know that as well. And you don't need to get a tight end like Travis Kelce with the first pick either. So usually it'll be a running back or a wide receiver. And then it kind of comes down to personal preference. If you're a fan of the Dolphins, are you a fan of Tyreek? Do you like Breece? But I definitely wouldn't be picking Breece all over CMC. But Tyreek, number 1, I don't think anyone would, really care if you went that route. You got to think Jay Jetta's numbers are going to be lower since they don't have a quarterback. I do like Amon-Ra. It kind of just depends on, what you're feeling based off the talent. Jamar Chase with Burrow. A lot of times you got to make sure who the quarterback is, for that wide receiver. And if you believe in Tua and you believe in Tyreek, then you can go that route too. But if I had the first pick, I probably would be leaning towards McCaffrey. Even though I know that he does get injured from time to time, but he's got the highest ceiling out of any player, running back or possible wide receiver, just because he can put up so much numbers. Pitches outside, 3 balls and 1 strike to Will Smith. Yeah, and that's why, like I said, when in preseason, sometimes we can't get too confident that they're going to automatically beat up a bad team. Big swing and a miss there by Will Smith, 3 balls and 2 strikes, because we know the Seahawks are a playoff team more than likely, like a wild card, probably 10 to 12 wins, unless they have serious injuries, then maybe somewhere between 7 and 9. But to me, it feels like they could, compete with San Fran and, maybe win 10 to 12 games, right? The Titans are definitely going to finish in last, and you would assume they're going to win 2 to probably 7 games. But they did end up winning in preseason, but it's preseason. A lot of bad teams end up beating good teams, and it's all about backups. You're not really seeing a lot of the starters play, and if you do, it's usually only for a series or 2, sometimes 1 quarter, but usually they wait until, maybe the 3rd preseason game to have you actually have a half or a full game out of the starters, or at least some of them. Will Smith with a walk going to first in the bottom of the 2nd with 1 out. Yeah, I will. I got you. Yeah, and there is a Madden cover curse, right? But again, a lot of the running backs end up, getting hurt no matter what. And, it really just kind of depends. The NFL is man's game. Anybody can get hurt. So, like I said, Breece Hall could get hurt. Tyreek could get hurt. You know what I mean? But I think that if you ended up drafting Breece Hall number 1, he might live up to that pick. But chances are, he probably won't. And there's probably going to be at least a couple guys higher than him. And hopefully, for Breece's sake, he finishes top 5 running back or top 10. But there's no way in hell I would be taking Breece as the number 1 pick in the draft if I had it. Just based on my strategy. I would take Breece on my team, but just not number 1 pick. Pitch right down the middle to Brian Wood, a Max Muncy behind in the count 0-2. Pitches outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. With running backs, especially, can you get a guy that can catch the football and score touchdowns, as a receiver and can run, and that really gives you, especially if it's a PPR league, that can end up getting you more points to a championship. Big swing and a miss. Max Muncy, sit down. Nice job by Brian Wu. There we go, baby. Nice punch out by Wu. Nothing there for Will Smith. At first, Max Muncy, big swing and a miss. Next up, shortstop Miguel Rojas. And I know Miguel Vargas is probably feeling sick after getting traded to the White Sox to go from one of the best teams in baseball to one of the worst. Definitely tough for him. Bottom of the second, 0-0 Mariners and Dodgers. Runner at first with 2 outs. 0-1 count from Brian Wu to Miguel Rojas. Well, J.J. McCarthy was the wrong pick. Obviously for the Vikings, they should have went Michael Penix Jr. And not only would the fans have been happier, it would have been a better fit. But, that's how it goes. You pay the price when you end up picking the wrong guy. JJ might end up being decent and Drake may on the Patriots, but Drake doesn't have a whole lot to work with in New England. And obviously you've got Jay Jetta, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson, but there's issues with that O-line and that defense and the coaching. Popped up. And that is the end of the second inning as we leave one stranded. Nice job by Brian Wu, baby. A guy in the building. What's good? Raiders. What's good, baby? Gardner Minshew as a starter over Aiden. How do you feel about that? It's like they're going to give Gardner Minshew a shot, and then if he ends up fucking up and going like 1-3, then you can bring Aiden, that maybe should have been the starter. But obviously you guys decided to go that route. And we know Gardner Minshew could start, for maybe 5 to 10 teams. He can definitely be one of the top 5 backups in the league as well. Hopefully it works out for you guys, with the Raiders. And if not, then it'll only take about a month before they pull him if he goes 1-3 or 2-3, and then they'll go with Aiden, and we'll see what we get. And obviously that team is a work in progress, but I wish the best for you. All right, end of the second inning, 0-0 Mariners and Dodgers. Hope that you have been well. Hey, guy. All right, see what other photos we can get here real quick. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Help your boy out. We want to get 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall. Where are we at right now on the likes? Hopefully close to 20. Getting everyone's photos for their donos taken care of here as soon as I can. Maddie there for our boy DX. And I'll even hit you with the college there at Michigan. 0-1 count to Hollywood Josh Rojas. Let me get one more in here for you. He looks good in that Michigan blue. Appreciate y'all. And we'll have a lot of fun, me, DX, and Megan, watching the Kraken, not only this upcoming season, but beyond. And I think that with the new additions and what they did in the draft, it might not be enough, to make the playoffs this upcoming season, but we're hopeful. But it definitely looks like we're going in the right direction of getting players that actually want to play in Seattle and wanting to try to build something here. And even though they had to let Hat go, just like with Pete Carroll, and they're moving on in different directions on the not only the NHL side, but the NFL side, I think that a lot of the Pacific Northwest fans are excited of what they got in McDonald, as well as our new head coach. obviously there for the Kraken as well. Top of the third, 0-0 Mariners and Dodgers. 2-2 count from Stone to Hollywood, Josh Rojas. Right down the middle for strike 3. Got him. All right, Hollywood, we need you next time, baby. Nice punch out there by Stone. And you know when Gavin Stone is wheeling and dealing, I mean, they don't even swing. It's just right down the middle, and then they just have to walk to the dugout. Nice job by Gavin. Next up for the Mariners in the 9-hole, Dylan Moore. Let's go, Demo. Let's go, baby. And so far, so good. I mean, hell, we're in the third inning. We're not down 5 runs. We're not down 8 runs. Like Brian Wu is holding it down. We're going to have a chance in this series, especially if we win this one today. Dodgers are much better than us. I mean, right now, it doesn't look very good that we're going to, I think we only have a 22% chance unless things turn around for us to even make a wild card. There's quite a few teams that are ahead of us. There's a lot of good teams in the American League this year. And they were mentioning, and there goes Demo with the strike 3 looking. Another one, 2 away. But they were saying that this might be the first year in many years where no team gets to 100 wins. And that'll be the first time in a minute. Even though we have a lot of teams that are very, very good, but we're not getting like a 105, 110, 115 win team this year. A lot of competition, a lot of, parity, with the matchups and whatnot. So again, we already know Dodgers, Phillies, Brewers, Padres. There's going to be some teams in the National League that are going to be doing their job. Then you got obviously the Guardians, right? The Yankees, the Orioles, the Royals, the Twins, the Mariners, the Red Sox. I mean, it's very, very deep. So we'll see where it goes. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, I could agree with that. That you obviously want someone better. Like if Michael Penix Jr. was the Raiders quarterback, that would be the guy that you would want to start over the other 2, and that would be a good fit for you guys as well. So, but again, there's still going to be some growing pains, but I'll tell you what, based on watching camp and watching all the practices and limited preseason, Michael Penix Jr. and Kirk Cousins, they got something cooking there in Atlanta. But if you ended up watching the Broncos or the Bears, Caleb and Bo Nix look amazing. Like, again, they are going to have growing pains, and there's going to be some bad interceptions, bad fucking reads, bad plays, but they have more promise than most of the quarterbacks that I've seen right out of the gates. And I think that both guys are in the perfect situation for now, with these particular teams. And I can't wait to be able to see Caleb develop on the Bears and see what Bo Nix can do for the Denver Broncos. But if you ended up watching the Saints and Niners last night, or the Packers and the Broncos, you got a little bit of a taste of what Bo Nix is going to be able to do for the Broncos. Now, they still need offensive line, defense. Obviously, I like Dulcich. Maybe some better running backs and another couple good wide receivers. So there's still a work in progress. And even if Denver doesn't make the playoffs, for a couple years, now they can at least be excited that they got a quarterback that's not named Brock Osweiler or Trevor Siemian. Like my best friend Justin has been a hardcore fan since the Elway days. And I told him, listen, if you want Denver to be successful, you got to have a John Elway, Peyton Manning type. And if it's not, you're going to suck. For a while it took him, some convincing. But after watching Simeon and Osweiler and all of these other scrubs, trying to come in, Bo looks like a combination to me of Baker Mayfield on my team on the Bucs and a little bit of Drew Brees mixed in there based off his leadership skills. And I feel that if you can end up having a Baker Mayfield, Drew Brees combo, that's going to work out really well. And he's very coachable. He was already married at Oregon. So, he's not, going to be hitting the nightlife and partying and things like that. So I think that, he's got the right people around him to succeed. And then obviously with Caleb, there's going to be some growing pains there. Like I saw Keenan Allen is fat. He's like 20 pounds overweight. He can't run routes anymore. So I don't know if it's just like he got sad because he got shipped out of the Chargers with Justin Herbert, and now he's not going to be able to get as many targets. So he decided to eat more and be out of shape. but that's going to definitely help out some of the other receivers and tight ends like Cole Kmet and obviously the running backs and whatnot. But hopefully Keenan can shed that weight once we get into the regular season. But for a guy that is a Hall of Fame wide receiver, to look at him being 15 to 20 pounds overweight, and we're almost at the regular season, a little scary, for a guy that is that good, a Hall of Fame type of wide receiver. So we'll see where it goes. But again, I'm definitely excited where the NFL and college football are going. Yeah, and unfortunately, coaching has been the bugaboo. GM and coaching, if you don't have a good owner, a good GM, or a good head coach, sometimes you miss out on opportunities like that. Like if McDaniels would have gotten Stroud, imagine what that could have been for your guys' team, a big, building block moving forward. And we already know the Texans are going to be one of the most popular teams moving forward because of him. Line drive, Polo, JT, one away. Tommy Edman in his first at-bat there, grounds out, one away. First at-bat of the season there for Tommy Edman. Again, I don't have any photos of him in any Dodger gear because the photographers just took their first photos like 5 seconds ago. Next up, DHing for the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani. Bottom of the third, 0-0, Mariners and Dodgers. It's there on the corner for a strike, 0-1 count. Ohtani popped up a mile. Victor Robles is there. There we go, 2 away. All right, we're at 17 likes. We need 3 more in 9 minutes. So it looks like there's about 7 or 8 people that haven't smashed the like button just yet. So if you are one of those 7 or 8, please do your boy a solid and smash that like button. We've been getting great results by getting 20 in the first hour, 30 to 50 overall. We only need 3 more to hit 20, and then we're going to be shooting for 30 to 50 overall. Appreciate you guys. Love you, and I appreciate you. Pitch is outside. 1-0 count to Mookie Betts. Best fantasy baseball advice I can give you is read, read, read. Always make sure that you're reading and not throwing your money in the toilet. Always make sure you're looking at the lineups. You're looking at the pitchers, their win-loss record, their ERA, looking at the lineup 1 through 9 and how strong it is. Look at the last 5 games that team played. Pretty much just go to an ESPN page, Sonics Joe, and read as much as you can before you end up making a decision, on where you're going to go based off the spread or a parlay. That would be my best advice there. Betting on baseball is not easy, just like with football, hockey, and any other sport. They always know the 0.5. They always know, based off all of the stats that those teams have played over the last 10 years, they run it in the algorithm. And then that's why, they're so good at, beating a lot of the bettors, because they always have that advantage knowing, this team plays better on grass than turf, or this team is a really good evening team, but this team sucks in the morning. You got to look at those things, and then the more that you read and the more deep diving you do, the more money you can make. Like with me, I'm usually reading about 4 to 6 hours a day. Not only when I do this channel, but when I do fantasy football during that season, and every season, I go deep diving on everybody. So I always try to treat every team as my own. And if I do that with no bias, it helps me be more of an expert of the league that I'm covering. So that would be my best advice for you. And that would apply to anything, fantasy football or fantasy baseball, basketball, football, or hockey. Bottom of the third, 0-0, runner at first with 2 outs. Next up is Freddie Freeman. First pitch to Freeman, check swing foul, behind in the count 0-1. Yeah, I agree. But, one thing that they can't take away from you, you got a guy that's a beast like Howie Long, right, and Max Crosby. The guy is one of the best players in the NFL, should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. The guy has an endless motor, takes 2 or 3 guys to block him. And, again, I would just be salivating if I could have a guy, like if my team wasn't very good and I wasn't making the playoffs that much anymore, but I had a guy like that, I mean, that's a guy that, you could definitely root for. And again, if I was a Raiders fan, I'd probably have 3 Max Crosby jerseys in my closet. I'd have the black, I'd have the white, and if they had any kind of alternate, throwback or gray, I mean, I would be having them all. And there's not a lot of guys on the team that are willing, are worth buying a jersey for, but Crosby definitely is. And even if you throw him back in like the 80s and 90s, he's a throwback player that could have played with Howie Long in the John Madden era with Tim Brown, and even with Rich Gannon, Jerry Rice, or if you want to go way, way back with like Marcus Allen and going way, way back with the Raiders. Bottom of the third, 0-0, Mariners and Dodgers, runner at first, 2 outs. 2-2 pitch from Wu to Freeman. The X with a tenor. Houday, the Bengals. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. $10 holla. And I hope Joe Burrow plays well. I think we're due for another, Super Bowl appearance out of Joe Burrow, or at least an AFC Championship game appearance. I love Joe. He's one of the most likable quarterbacks in the NFL. The only problem is you got to go against Mahomes and a few others, but definitely has surpassed Josh Allen and a few others. And if Joe can stay healthy, who knows how far the team could go. But they still have issues, obviously, on O-line and defense, right? And obviously with no Joe Mixon at running back, it's going to be a rude awakening, I think, for Bengals fans that you guys leaned on him for so long, and not to have Joe Mixon anymore and him on the Texans with Stephon Diggs. CJ Stroud ended up getting some big additions. And again, you don't really have a running back as good as Joe there now. So we'll see where it goes. But that is a little flaw that I noticed with Cincinnati. But hopefully they'll draft a running back, or get one in free agency at some point in the next couple years. Big swing and a miss for Brian Wu. There we go. Freddie Freeman, sit down. But again, the Bengals are still good enough, to beat the Steelers. If the Browns' offense is a little shaky, they'll be good at defense. But they got Jameis Winston as a backup, not Joe Flacco. So there is a real possibility, even if the Bengals are beat up and injured, they should be at the top of the division, you would assume, with the Ravens and Lamar. And then Cleveland in third, and then Pittsburgh last and fourth, because Russ and Justin Fields are terrible. That's what it is. I don't want to be a hater, but I mean, everything that you've seen out of both of those guys is not good. And again, if I was a Steeler fan and I had Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, or I had Kenny Pickett, who's no longer there, it makes you understand why Big Ben was so valuable, Roethlisberger, for that team for such a long period of time. They don't make Big Bens. They don't grow out of trees out there at all. 0-0 Mariners and Dodgers. Lauren in the building. What's good, my guy? Trident's up, baby. And I figured if Wu could have a good solid 6 or 7 innings, we'd have a chance. If we win this game, there's a chance that we can win 2 out of 3, either tomorrow with Bryce Miller or with Logan Gilbert, obviously, on Wednesday. But again, this is going to be the first game. Whoever wins this game, will probably end up winning the series overall, but we'll have to wait and see. $50 holla, my guy. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang, $50 holla. Yeah, well, you could always go against the Mariner players, or you could have ended up making money and just going against the White Sox for 20-plus games and whatnot. But again, things are starting to turn around, for the Mariners. Again, we're not where we need to be, and that's 100% true, but things are getting better slowly but surely, even though we've had a couple rough series up to this point. Appreciate you, my guy, with a 50 and a 20. Thank you so much. Arazarena popped up to second, 1 away in the top of the 4th. And I appreciate you. More love. Thank you so much. I need it too. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. $20 holla, $50 holla. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. We're at 109 now. Let's get to 2. 91 to go. Nice. Great show. I actually just rewatched Dexter about a month ago, and I've watched it probably 5 times through. So popped up, Cal Raleigh into left to Teoscar Hernandez, 2 away. Obviously, the newer Dexter that came out, with his son, not as good as the original. You want to be able to have, Michael C. Hall being the narrator of his own character and whatnot. And obviously, that's what made Dexter so good, as well as obviously the different serial killers that he went against. and whatnot. And obviously, they're going to be doing 2 new shows. One that is going to be him narrating a younger version of him, a different actor. And then there's going to be another one of him where it's going to be either like a prequel or something before or after where they left off. So you're going to get a little bit of Dexter, and then you're going to get another show where he's going to narrate with another actor that's a younger version of him. With him and Deb. So, I'm a super fan of Dexter. So I know that some people hated the ending in the first show, or first series. And then obviously the spinoff or the little secondary show that came out, didn't please everyone. But again, if you are a fan of him and that show, you're going to watch. So, and I know I'm going to definitely tune in. Top of the fourth, 0-0, Mariners and Dodgers, 3-0 count to Julio Rodriguez. I appreciate you, man. Very, very much. Yeah, if you look it up, Lauren, it'll go over some of the details. I don't think it's coming out for a while. I assume it will come out in 2025 is when those shows will come out, but I think they're going to be coming out around the same time. So more Wolverine and Deadpool. Nice. How many times have you seen it in the theater? I still haven't got a chance to see it yet, man. I'm jealous. Thank you so much. And Mr. Williams is one of those guys that will double dip, not only donating on the channel, but also donating through the Cash App. And we don't really get as much on the Cash App and the Venmo lately. So anytime that we can, if I'm only getting paid once a month, it really goes a long ways. And plus, I got to take Paisley to the vet on Wednesday. She got some kind of like spider bite or bug bite on one of her legs and has a little bit of like a skin growth that looks like a mole on her back leg that's very, very small. Hopefully it's not like any kind of cancer or anything like terrible. Hopefully it's just kind of some kind of skin lesion where it's just kind of like a mole. And then the other bite, hopefully it's just like a bug bite that's not serious. She doesn't have like Lyme disease from like a tick or anything like that. But obviously anytime I notice something about her, I want to make sure that she's okay. And her birthday was a couple days ago. She just turned 3, and this is the first time that I've noticed anything like that, on her body. So me being the, loving dad and the protective dad, the dog father, I was like, fuck, man, I don't really want to go to the vet and have to drop $150 based on some, oh, it's just this, it'll heal on its own type of thing. But, I want to make sure. And so if there is any other like specific medication based off if they can analyze what kind of bite it was, that, I can make sure I do it. The last thing I want to do is like, it'll be fine. And then it ends up being like some kind of tick bite. She gets Lyme disease and then ends up getting sick. And, I don't want that. So we'll see what happens. But it might have been a spider bite from the house, but I can't tell. But it's still there, and it's been a few days, and it's about the size of a dime. So it's a pretty good, wound from whatever bit her. So, but she's not really biting at it. She did scratch it a little bit, but we'll see where it goes. But I appreciate you, Mr. Williams, very, very much. Top of the fourth, 0-0, runner at first with 2 outs. In the box, Jorge Polanco, 1 ball and 2 strikes. What's going on? What's new in your life, Mr. Williams? Pitch right down the middle. Gavin Stone. See you later. Mr. Williams with the 50. Mr. Williams with the 20. Mr. Williams with another $69 dono. God bless your heart, man. Thank you so much for supporting the brand, supporting me and Paisley, supporting my dreams, supporting mental health. I appreciate you so much, man. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Appreciate you. And we talk about this, pretty often, multiple times in the stream. We'll get some electricity and donos like this, but it's really about the mental health, addiction, depression, anxiety. These are things that not only I've went through personally, but I know some of y'all are going through it now or have in the past. But if you make the proper adjustments, you understand who you are, you know your triggers, right? And if you make an effort and hold yourself accountable, you can get back on track. If you're not exercising, exercise. If you're not eating healthy and you're eating fast food, it costs about the same price now as fast food and eating healthy. Before it wasn't. But this inflation has caused fast food to go up from $5 hamburger, fry, and drink to $10 to $15. So I know eating healthy doesn't sound like the best thing to most people if you're eating Taco Bell, Burger King, McDonald's, Dairy Queen, Popeyes, and all those delicious pizzas. But if you end up making that effort, you can lose a little bit weight and you'll feel good about it. And number 3, make sure you're listening to at least 30 minutes of music every day. Spend time with your pets and your friends and your family, and make sure you're going somewhere positive, like here, like the NWSF. You could have a shitty day in traffic, a shitty day at home. You could end up having an argument with friends and family. But one thing that you are going to notice when you're here, you are family. It starts off as fans, you turn into friends, but some of y'all are my family, and I really do appreciate you guys very much. And I look forward to these like mini therapy sessions where we can do baseball, basketball, football, hockey, wrestling, NASCAR. But on top of that, right, we can also talk about life, our problems, and obviously anything I can do to help, you guys out with photos or just being able to, talk something out. I'm going to be able to do that. Obviously, my goal here, isn't necessarily to be like this rich and famous guy. Obviously, I do care about the likes and the subs and the views and the donos. It's important. But at the end of the day, the more people that I can help is really what the game is about. You want to make sure that you can help people in a positive manner the best way that you can. Megan with her own dono train, bottom of the 4th, 0-0, Mariners and Dodgers. We'll get some Wolverine and Deadpool up for you, Mr. Williams, here in a second. Pitch fouled back there by Teoscar Hernandez behind in the count, 1-2. There we go. And see, this is what happens when you end up getting a goat and then another goat and then another goat. People feed off that momentum, and then you end up having a spectacular day. Thank you so much. $20 dono, $10 dono, $2 dono, $20 dono. Thank you guys so much. And again, it all started with Megan with the 20 right out of the gates, and then you ended up having a few other donos to start a train right there. And then Mr. Williams coming in with the hammer with 3 donos, Megan with 3 donos, DX with another dono. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you very, very much. Teoscar Hernandez chops that one foul. $20 dono, stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. Appreciate you with a 20, with a 10, with a tour. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. DX with a 20, stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. Thank you so much. And again, vet bills are not cheap, and so anything that can be done would be greatly appreciated. Bottom of the 4th, 0-0, Mariners and Dodgers. 2-2 count to Teoscar Hernandez. Oh, happy early birthday from one O to another. Orion to Ollie. Happy birthday. Awesome. Can't believe he's 5 already. That's wild. Yes, absolutely. Nice little dribbler. Right back to Brian Wu. Underhand to Justin Turner. 2 away. Any new shows that you're watching right now? Mr. Williams, I know you are big on the movies, documentaries, TV, specials. Anything that you're watching right now that you would recommend, or something that you're just watching right now? Anything new from the last time that we talked? Pitch there in the zone by Brian Wu. 1 ball and 1 strike. Let's go, baby. Who would have thought that this game would be this competitive? I know some Dodger fans thought that this was going to be game over within the first couple innings, but nice. I mean, again, we want to be able to get hits and we want to be able to get runs, and it is a pitcher's duel. It literally is a one-hitter for Wu and Stone. Now, for Stone to have a one-hitter, I don't think it's that surprising. But for Brian Wu, and unless you're familiar with him, I think a lot of Dodger fans are like, wow, this might actually be the Mariners' best pitcher right now, even over Logan Gilbert and George Kirby. Wu has got the best record. Now, he doesn't have as many starts as the other pitchers because he got hurt. But if you're looking at his stuff and his confidence and his swagger, he was the 5, a couple of years in a row. And to go from the 5th guy in the rotation out of 5, you were the 5th best guy out of 5, and now you're probably number 1, even over guys that are all-star quality like Kirby and Gilbert. That is really saying something. And then you got Bryce Miller and Luis Castillo in 4th and 5th. So, I mean, hell, if Luis Castillo is our worst pitcher, chances are our team is pretty good, at least on the pitching side. And again, Luis was our number 1, La Piedra, but I think I would probably put him as our 4 or our 5 now. I have a lot more confidence in Wu, Gilbert, and Kirby. Pitches outside with the heater for a strike. 0-1 count to Will Smith. Industry. Big swing and a miss. I mean, I watch a little bit of everything, especially, having friends that are girls. And, when I was in those long relationships, sometimes you end up watching programs that maybe are more geared towards like a female audience. But sometimes you end up, enjoying the programming and whatnot. So for me, I'll watch Alaska programs, I'll do Discovery, Nat Geo, but then also I'm on Netflix and all the streaming apps as well. But I'm trying to think of like the last 3 shows that I watched. Since I ended up spending so much time with different females and different shows. Emily in Paris, I just watched the new season of that. Very good. I watched Supercell, that is kind of like The Boys, and it's got a bunch of brothers and sisters that are in London, and they're like superheroes, and they have like superpowers based off like government testing, and they can do certain things, but it's not really in a cheesy way. It's kind of in a cool way, like The Boys, where they end up, eliminating each other in kind of like graphic ways based off their powers and whatnot. And then now I'm watching, what am I watching now? And then now I'm watching another Resident Alien, which is a sci-fi, kind of program, comedy drama that was on the Sci-Fi Channel, about an alien that ended up crashing in, and it's like blending into kind of a town out in the middle of nowhere in Colorado and whatnot. But the actors and actresses that they have in that show are very, very good. It's like it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Like, I knew it was going to be pretty funny and good. And every once in a while I like watching shows like that, or like an iZombie. Obviously I always go to my favorites like Dexter, True Blood, Game of Thrones, things of that nature, Grimm. But if I'm trying to look at something new, depending on my mood, it just depends on where I go. But definitely sci-fi is one of my favorites. Big swing and a miss. Got him. There we go. Brian Wu, wheeling and dealing, baby. Unbelievable. Brian Wu, 1 hitter for Wu and Stone through 4 innings. Unbelievable. Let's go to the top of the 5th. Awesome, dude. Let's go. All right, let's try to see if I can pull up some photos here. Right. I don't know if I would go see that one in the theater. That one seems like once it comes out on streaming platforms, then maybe, unless you want to see it with the, sound effects and the big screen and whatnot. But yeah. End of the 4th inning, 0-0 Mariners and Dodgers. Let's go, baby. Oh, and I also watched the new cartoon on Prime, the Batman Caped Crusader, and that one was actually pretty good too. Kind of just depends on, if you're a cartoon type of person or not. It's not better than Batman, the animated series, back in the 90s. That was one of my favorite cartoons with X-Men, but it's kind of like a 2024 animation, but I still like it. And I think they did a pretty good job with it. It's not like, oh my God, it's a must-see thing, but on a scale of like 1 to 10 for a cartoon, like a 7 or 8, it's definitely worth watching, but it's not like probably something that you would watch again, but it's worth a watch at least one time through. And I'll get you some more photos as we go through the commercial breaks here. Appreciate you. And then once we end up getting Mr. Williams some photos for his 3 donos, then we'll go and do Megan's dono train and DX, and then we'll get you guys as well. Top of the 5th, 0-0. Gavin Stone and Brian Wu are putting on a pitching clinic here today. Dropping down the bunt by Luke Raley. Throw to first, and he's out. But I like the effort on trying to drop the bunt down, and that might be the surprise tactic that you need to do to be able to get on base. And you saw Luke running very fast to first, but couldn't beat out the throw there to first base. But I like the idea. Let's bunt 2-3 times a game. Let's give it a shot. Next up, first baseman, the former Dodger, Justin Turner. Man, this game is flying by. The 90s X-Men. Yeah, and again, I know you're not really, you're more Star Wars, and you're not really into Marvel. You're more DC. Like for me, if I could choose any character out of anybody, it would be Batman is my number one, and then probably Iron Man. Just because I ended up doing the comics and whatnot. If I was going to go, but if I had to choose just one, I'm more leaning Batman. Now, do I still appreciate the X-Men? Or Wolverine, or even Deadpool, or the Avengers? Absolutely, I love those movies. I love all those characters. But I'm kind of a Dark Knight, the Dark Knight Rises kind of guy. And I like the older stuff too. But I like Christian Bale, and I like Bane. I like that particular series. And obviously with Heath Ledger, big fan. And again, I don't know if there's movies that you can really compare to those two. I mean, there's a lot of good Batman movies. I haven't really seen that many that have been shitty. It just depends on who you prefer as your Batman. But for me, my favorite is by far Christian Bale. Top of the 5th, 0-0, Mariners and Dodgers. Runner at first with 1 out. And we obviously just saw JT get a nice base knock there in Dodger Stadium. Next up is Hollywood Josh Rojas, an individual that's been struggling mightily, but as of late has started to put it together and even homered in his last game at bat. Let's go. Top of the 5th, 0-0, Mariners and Dodgers. Runner at first, 1 away. 1-1 pitch from Stone to Rojas. One pitch. Pitch is low at the knees. Oh, and I did Cobra Kai, and I got all caught up on that. So, I mean, I've been on a massive tear on trying to, get certain shows in. And I will be doing the Hell on Wheels at some point, Megan, but I just haven't felt like I've been in kind of a country, Western kind of mood, since Deadwood. Oh, line drive to Freddie Freeman. Wow. What a double play. Line drive to Rojas and then tagged. Unbelievable. Wow. And again, it also depends on kind of my mood. Like when I watch programs in the morning, afternoon, or if I'm watching them like late at night, because sometimes if I'm watching something late at night, I don't want to like fall asleep or not like pay attention. And certain shows, you have to like really focus on everything that's going on. Other shows, you can kind of be on your phone, or, you can be kind of paying attention and whatnot. But definitely we'll be doing the Hell on Wheels for you at some point. But I don't know. Like I said, if it's a Yellowstone, like a newer version Western, obviously I love that show. And I like the old school vibes of like movies and shows that bring you back into a period of time, kind of like Shogun did, obviously in Japan. And obviously when you get these old Westerns, it brings you like, you can feel like you're there in that particular show. But I just haven't really felt like a Western vibe, and at some point I'll get there. But again, I have other shows that I'm trying to, kind of bang out, before I get into that mode. But I definitely haven't forgot about it. All right, let's see if I can get a few more photos here swooped in. Going to the bottom of the 5th, and we're still knotted up at 0. But I like both of the actors. They're both fantastic. good chemistry. And hopefully I'll get a chance to be able to go and see it before it leaves theaters. Appreciate you so much. Bottom of the fifth, 0-0, Mariners and Dodgers. We're in a pitching duel. 2 hits for the Mariners, 1 hit for the Dodgers. And with the Dodgers lineup, that's got to be pretty crazy, unless you are familiar with us. People know we're good with our pitching staff, but I don't think people realize how good we really are when we're on. When we're on, we can compete with anybody. But again, it just depends on if we got the right guy on the mound. And I think right now, Brian Wu, is our number one. I think right now he's playing better than Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, and a hell of a lot better than normally Bryce Miller and Castillo, who are normally 4th and 5th best. So Muncy popped up into the gap. Randy Arosarena is there. 1 away. A no-go there for Mad Max Muncy. Next up, 0 for 1, shortstop Miguel Rojas. All right, we hit the 20 likes in the first hour. Thank you, guys. We need 7 more to get to 30. Thank you. Now we're at 24. 6 more to go to hit 30. And then we're at that next tier of the goal. Let's go. Appreciate you guys very, very much. We're at 230. Let's get to 3. And thank you so much to Megan and Mr. Williams and DX. It's been a minute where we've had a day like this. Popped up. Rojas is there. 2 away. And I didn't even know that Mr. Williams was going to be able to hang out today. Normally he'll give me a heads up. He definitely made it a very good surprise here today. And even if you weren't able to donate, just having you in the room, obviously it brings up and uplifts the room, and it always makes me happy when you're here. But then on top of that, if you can end up, supporting, and you have, the room to do that, and you're able to have that generosity and be able to hang out, then obviously it's a fantastic day, not only for me, but me and Paisley and the room and the channel overall. So yeah, I like to get paid too. Sometimes, when you're not getting paid or it's a very low amount, it's like not a regular job like everyone else where they punch in and punch out and they know how much money they're going to make per hour, per day, per week, per paycheck, and you're only getting paid once a month, and Google and YouTube are taking a big chunk, and maybe Cash App and Venmo donos have been really, really low or light or non-existent. Sometimes it gets a little rough, but I always have the faith that certain people will come through to be able to help us. Popped up and out. End of the 5th inning. We're still knotted up here at 0. 2 hits for the Mariners, 1 hit for the Dodgers, no errors. What a pitching duel. But it's always nice when you can, have someone, start a dono train with like Megan starting it off and you coming in and then DX, stepping up. Because if you end up going in a stream and you go like an hour and you get nothing, it's really hard to be able to hit the goal unless someone like you comes into the room, or Megan or DX or one of the other heavy hitters. So when you can get started off early, you can kind of, you feed off the momentum and the Uncle Mo, right? Donos are like a snowball. When you see one, then it usually leads to another and another. So appreciate that. See if I can squeeze in a couple more here. Some are formatting, some are not. So I'm trying to do my best here for you. And then we'll do some Joe Burrow for DX. And then we do some Gambit for Megan. Anything else that you want to be able to see besides Deadpool and Wolverine? mean, I got plenty of Dodger photos, obviously, here in the stream as it is. So, but if you got anything else that you want to see Rams-wise or anything Dodgers-wise, you let me know. Appreciate you. Now I got to delete these, make some more room. But it's definitely making me want to watch the movie even more now, for sure. Jacob in the building. What's good? Guevara in the building. What's good? Yeah, Dark Knight. Yeah, that's my favorite. And I've watched all of them, you know, so it's like I love each, you know, kind of, you know, personality, you know, that is doing it, you know, even though, you know, some people are going to like the George Clooney. Some people think that might be the worst one. You know, maybe you're a Michael Keaton person. It all depends on your age, you know, and if you've watched them all. You know, if you're older and you've watched them all, you know, or, you know, if you're younger, you might have only seen some of the recent ones, you know, but for someone that's watched all of them, you know, I think every individual that has, you know, done a movie has done a good job at representing what Batman is to DC. You know, but it, you know, just depending on the plot and the special effects and, you know, and also the other side characters, you know, like Batgirl and other people that are in it. But, you know, definitely the Christian Bale, Heath Ledger, you know, combo for me was, you know, the best. And then with Bane, I mean, you know, to me, I can watch The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises more than any other Batman, you know, movies. I mean, all of them I can watch, but I can kind of watch those ones on repeat. 3-2 pitch from Gavin Stone to Dylan Moore. Got him. Man, Gavin Stone on the edges, baby. Got him. Top of the sixth with one out. Dylan Moore didn't even have a chance there. Man, these pitchers are putting on a fucking spectacle. Next up for the Mariners, center fielder, Victor Robles. Let's go, Victor. And I love Anne Hathaway. You know, for Catwoman, I felt that she played that part. Like we've seen now, like Halle Berry, and you know, you've seen like other, you know, side characters, Penguin and whatnot. You know, even the Gotham show I thought was pretty good. That was on Fox. They did a good job on that. Throw to first, 2 away. Down goes Victor Robles. But I thought that Anne Hathaway's interpretation of Catwoman and Joseph, you know, Gordon-Levitt, you know, being John Blake. I mean, there's so many good, you know, individual characters in that particular, you know, 2 movies with The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. It's just incredible, man. But again, everyone's going to have their favorite Star Wars, you know, Marvel, DC, you know, if you're a Deadpool kind of guy, Wolverine kind of guy, Avengers kind of guy or girl. Top of the 6th, 0-0, Mariners and Dodgers. 2 outs, 1-0 pitch to Randy Arozarena. Chop that one foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. Come on, Randy. Let's go, baby. Randy Arozarena. 1-1 pitch. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch in the zone for a strike, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And all the Mariner fans right now are saying, wow, like, look how good we're doing right now. We need our bats to kind of come alive, but it's, you know, both pitchers are dominating. Like, this might be the most dominant. I thought, you know, Scooball and Kirby were going at it twice. We got our ass kicked, right? Scooball kicked our ass. right? And then we saw Skeens, do what they did. But now this is a matchup where we got two really good pitchers that are really showing off today, what they have in their arsenal and how good they are at this point in the season right now. Remember, Gavin Stone's got 10 fucking wins. He's 10-5. Randy with a walk. There we go. And I think most Dodger fans expected Gavin to rock it today, but I think a lot of Dodger fans did not anticipate Brian Wu, pitching like, hey, he's the best pitcher on the roster, even better than Kirby or Gilbert, Miller, or with Castillo, La Piedra. All right, here we go, baby. Next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. This would be a great opportunity to go for a home run at some point here. And he is the most clutch hitter for the Mariners in the 6th inning and beyond. I don't know if I feel a home run out of him today. I didn't really feel it, but I did feel that he might do it in the series, but maybe not today. Kind of more game 2, game 3. But we got to wait for Stone and Wu to go out, and then maybe whoever's bullpen plays better wins this game. I mean, the way that Wu is pitching, hell, I want him to pitch the whole game, all 9 innings like Nolan Ryan did. But I know that's not possible. Yeah, one of my favorite toys in my toy collection is when The Dark Knight ended up coming out, and I ended up going to Toys R Us and looking for Batman and figures, because obviously when Heath Ledger died, that figure is going to be worth more. And so anything that you could find with the Joker, knowing that Heath Ledger passed away, obviously was more collectible. Throw to second. Safe there. Nice job, Randy. And I end up, I only have one. I had a chance to buy 2, of the Joker with the, kind of the bazooka missile launcher, like when they're in the vehicle and they launch off that bazooka in that first movie. But as an accessory and whatnot, and I ended up getting one Batman and one Joker, and then gave the Batman away, to one of my friends. But I still got the Joker sealed, and obviously, rest in peace, Heath Ledger. Probably the best Joker that we have seen in any show or movie, and I don't think we're ever going to get one better than him. Line drive to Freddie Freeman again. Unbelievable. Wow. Freddie Freeman is like a magnet for those fucking line drives. I mean, there's a lot of good Batmans, Obviously, it depends on your age. And I think depending on who you say who your favorite is, sometimes will age you. Not that that's a bad thing, but again, a lot of times if you're older, you're going to have a kind of a liking towards this particular person. But it also depends if you've seen all of the movies and whatnot, and everyone's open up to their interpretation and opinion on who they like the best, but I don't know. Is George Clooney the worst out of all the Batman? I think that's a consensus that most people think Clooney is the worst. He got the role just based on him being George Clooney rather than maybe being the best fit for Batman. Now, did he do an okay job? I think most people would say, yeah, okay, but I think that he might be rated the worst one out of them all. I don't know. What do you guys think? Stormbum in the building. What's good? How are you? Yeah. Oh, Jack Nicholson is great too. But the way that Heath Ledger though did the role so good, he fucking died. He got so into that role and closed himself off from everybody, friends, family, everyone, and then kind of fucking turned into the Joker and went mentally insane and fucking died. So I know Jack Nicholson is a great actor. He's been, doing things for many, many times. But last time I checked, he's still courtside for Laker games. Heath Ledger took that role to the fullest extent where he turned literally into the Joker, went insane, went a little crazy, right? And then ended up, losing his life. So I don't know. I feel like Nicholson did a great job, but I feel Heath Ledger was the most convincing. And again, I don't think I've seen a performance better than him, in my opinion. Everyone's going to have their opinion, but that's, to me, that is the best Joker by far, and it's not even close. No disrespect to Nicholson and anyone else, but that's just my opinion. Bottom of the 6th, 0-0, Mariners and Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani up next, and we still got some more photos lined up here. they don't have a whole lot of the gambit on the Wolverine side. If there's something else besides that you want to be able to see, let me know. But let's see if I can go through. I've tried about 4 other ones. Okay, I got another one, but I had about 4 get rejected. So I was thinking, gosh, are they going to be able to format for me? But I'm able to get a couple more here. So if you have another selection besides that, let me know. And then Mr. Williams, you let me know. And then let me see. Maybe I'll just go to this angle. And let's try this technique. And maybe, okay, now they're starting to format. Broken bat by Ohtani. Throw to first. Got him, baby. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Grounded out. All right, looks like I got a few more. And then we still got some Joe Burrow lined up for DX as well. But the 3 of you that have thrown down the dono train, you just let me know, and I'll sprinkle them in as we go throughout the game. Mookie Betts in the box. Good to see him back there for the Dodgers. Bottom of the 6th, 0-0, Woo, and Gavin Stone putting on a clinic. Seattle's got 2 hits, but no runs. But the Dodgers only have 1 hit, and that is it. And that's Shohei Ohtani. Unbelievable. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. See if I can sprinkle these in real quick. But I was able to reformat a couple of the photos of the Gambit. Mookie, hard hit. Right to Demo, throw to first to Turner, 2 away. Hell yeah. There we go. What defense today? Oh, I bet. He played that role very well as, if you ended up watching the Jeffrey Dahmer, little mini series that they ended up putting out, for sure. Oh, absolutely. And it blows up for sure. Popped up. Robles is there. Man, Brian Wu is incredible. 1 hitter in Los Angeles. Keep letting him go. What is his pitch count right now? We got to take a little quick look at the stat line here. All right, so Gavin Stone, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 9 Ks. Incredible, right? We already know he's amazing. Brian Wu, he was our 5th guy in the rotation, 5 out of 5 the last couple years. Now he might be number 1 over guys like Logan Gilbert and George Kirby, who are typically all-star material. Brian Wu, 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 2 walks, but he only has 5 Ks, but he's getting the job done. A lot of pop-ups and ground-outs. What a pitching matchup. Wow, let's go. Now we just need the bats to come alive, and we know that we will once the guys go out, and then it'll be whoever's bullpen is better. We'll see what happens. So. Sprinkle a little Teo right there for you real quick. I got to get some Joe Burrows here for DX. Joe Cool, the Tiger King, which actually kind of reminds me, I kind of want to watch Tiger King back again. When we had COVID and that was kind of like all the rage, Joe Exotic and whatnot. But I kind of want to watch Tiger King again and go back and watch it. Sometimes things are worth watching more than once. Some things are not. But that fucking show, when it came out, and obviously I don't condone any abuse on animals. You guys know how much I love Paisley Pup and animals in general, right? But man, that show had a lot of crazy. That show had a lot of personalities and a lot of fucking crazy. And I don't know. It was almost like a recipe for success. And you don't need to be like a redneck to appreciate it. I feel that it was something that we've never really seen before, based on that particular show. Joe Exotic and the Tiger King, but we got another Tiger King right here. Joey B, Joe Burrow. He got the Eminem haircut. and the blonde hair, but I can't wait to see what Joe Burrow and the Bengals do this upcoming season. He's the man. He's very likable. He's one of the easiest, most likable quarterbacks, in the NFL as far as elite ones. It's easy to root for Lamar, easy to root for Burrow, easy to root for Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. If you like those guys, Josh Allen, throw to first. And Julio is safe. Nice job, Julio. Like I said, he was batting .350 in the last 5 games, and that's not including the 2 hits that I believe he has here today. 2 for 2, baby. J-Rod heating up, and he's making a difference. Even though he's not able to play in center field with that high ankle sprain, Victor Robles is there, but he's showing that, hey, he can help out this team, even though it's been a little rough, with the rehab and everything else. Next up is Jorge Polanco. And double play. Jesus Christ. What a wasted opportunity. Julio gets a hit, and Polo gets right into a double play. Golly. Next up, Rails, right fielder Luke Raley. Wow. Yeah, and they finally get to wear orange pants for the very first time in their existence, which is going to be awesome to see. I've seen some marketing photos on social media, on the Bengals, website and whatnot, and obviously on Twitter/X, Instagram, and they look awesome. And again, sometimes these alternate white helmets that some of the teams are going to be busting out this year too look very swaggy. Like I said, it all depends on if you like those alternates, throwbacks, color rushes. But some of them, with the helmets and the socks and the cleats and the pants, they end up looking amazing. Some look better than others. Once in a while, you'll get an ugly one here and there. Like the bumblebee look for the Steelers, where it doesn't look good, but most teams' throwbacks or alternates are, pretty swaggy. Top of the 7th, 0-0, Mariners and Dodgers. Stone, big swing and a miss, and down goes Luke Raley. Nobody can get a hit on either one of these pitchers. Wow. Now we're going to be going to the bottom of the 7th. And whoever ends up losing this game, Dodgers aren't going to care if they lose because they're one of the best teams in baseball. But if we end up losing this game 1-0, it's going to hurt because we're going to feel like, fuck, we had a chance. And whoever wins this game is going to have a good chance winning 2 out of 3. Come on, baby. Candace in the building. What's good? See if I can squeeze in a few more here. And then once we do this, then we'll go back through with Mr. Williams and Megan and DX, and you guys just keep commenting in the chat what you're looking for, and I gotcha. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th, 0-0 Dodgers and Mariners. What a game. I see you, Joey B. I see you, Tiger King. See who's up next here for the Dodgers. Next up for the Dodgers, 0 for 2 with a K, left fielder Teoscar Hernandez. Batting second baseman Gavin Lux. And batting third, catcher Will Smith. Let's go, baby. I agree. Just the one photo of Teo so far. I'm multitasking. I got like fucking 8 screens up and multiple windows up. So I'm just trying to manage all of the photos for the 3 of you heavy hitters the best that I can. Little dribbler while still calling the game. Throw to first. 1 away. Teoscar Hernandez grounded out to the shortstop there. 1 down. Next up, second baseman Gavin Lux. And Mr. Williams, you still in the building, or did you have to end up leaving? Bottom of the 7th, 0-0 Mariners and Dodgers. 1 away. Brian Wu absolutely killing it. And again, he's got the best record out of all Mariner pitchers. And honestly, if he had a few more starts under his belt and he never got hurt, I think that he would, easily have the most wins out of any pitcher. And he might be sitting at like, 10-2, 10-3 type of record. I mean, he's 5-1 right now. And again, some of the games, that were like almost there, wasn't getting a whole lot of like run support. And now the team is starting to, try to help him out a little bit more. But, 5-1 record with an ERA of 2.06. Those are number 1 for the Mariners in both categories. Pitch to Gavin Lux. Low and into the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Oh, he had to go? All right, I got to message him. Chopper foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Robles, back, gone! Gavin Lux finally opens the door on Brian Wu. Again, 7 innings, and normally you're not going to see pitchers go that long. Unfortunate for us. And Gavin Lux makes us pay 1-0 LA, but at least it wasn't a 3-run blast or a grand salami. Nice job by Gavin Lux. We're not going to hate on him. What electricity. Finally, Victor Robles looking up, and it was too far out and bounces all the way into the 5th row. Scott coming out. Looks like Jimmy Garcia coming in. That sucks. Wu did so well. I mean, he's only given up 2 hits, right? And then the 1 hit right there ended up being a home run. Fuck, man. And hopefully, again, like I mentioned just a couple minutes ago, hopefully we don't lose 1-0. I mean, I don't know if that's going to be the final score or whatnot, but when you pitch that well and you're doing it against the Dodgers and you're in Dodger Stadium on the road in LA, not many teams or pitchers can do that against, that type of team. You're going against Shohei Ohtani, Hall of Fame, Mookie Betts, Hall of Fame, Freddie Freeman, Hall of Fame, and Teoscar Hernandez, a really damn good player that's trying to be Hall of Fame. Oh, shit. I'm not sure if he threw at the next guy, out of frustration or not. Obviously we know Wu isn't a dirty player or anything like that, but frustration might have got the best of him. I'm not too sure. What an outing by Wu, man. And again, it's like, you got to be able to produce something, and we'll find out, when the guys go to the bullpen, whose bullpen will be strongest. And hopefully Jimmy Garcia doesn't fuck up and he can keep it like this. And hopefully we can find a way to tie the game up. And if we have to, go to extras and win 2-1, I'll tell you, it'll be a big emotional win for us if we can get this dub. And whoever wins this game, chances are, is going to win 2 out of 3. And if it's the Dodgers, they might end up sweeping us. This is a big critical game. We got Bryce Miller against Walker Buehler tomorrow, but Walker Buehler hasn't played well this season, coming back from the injury. So it's a winnable game if we can get 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits with Bryce Miller. And if Bryce can give up 3 runs or less, we're going to have a chance tomorrow. And then we also have Logan Gilbert on Wednesday going against Flaherty, I believe. And so, we're going to have a chance in every game. We just need the bats to open up just a little. We don't need 8, 9, 10 runs, but again, 1 is not going to cut it. And Wu makes 1 mistake. 6.1 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 5 Ks, 87 pitches, and just 1 bad pitch. That's it. 1 bad pitch all the way in the 7th inning cost us, but you can't get mad at him. You got to understand, you got to be able to put up 4 or 5 runs to win. And, at this point, the Mariners are struggling, but, the Dodgers were struggling as well. So let's see what Jimmy Garcia can do here. Yeah, I ended up watching the whole game. I was talking with my friend Justin while we were both watching it. I was flipping back and forth with the Saints and the Niner game as well. But I watched the whole game. And even though it was against the Packer backups, I don't care. Bo is showing you that he's a gamer, and that he can end up making those plays. So bottom of the 7th, 1-0 Dodgers. Gavin Lux with a solo blast on Wu to get him to exit after having a phenomenal performance. 1-0 Dodgers, bottom of the 7th. Runner at first with 1 out. 1-1 pitch from Jimmy Garcia to Mad Max Muncy, who's been out for a good majority of the year. 1-1 pitch, pitches outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. And that one is going back, gone. And Jimmy Garcia goes in and right out of the gates, he gives up a 2-run home run. Boo! You're like Stanek. We gave you to the Mets because we wanted to be able to have stability. And this is what I'm saying. You got to have a bullpen that you can trust. And literally, the only guy that we can trust on the Mariners is Andres Munoz. Jimmy Garcia was good in his first couple outings, but as of late, he looks like Stanek and hasn't been good and has been giving up home runs. And just like that, the game is over. I want to say that we're going to come back and win, but again, unless their bullpen is shitty like this, we're not going to be able to come back. And now we're down 3-0 when the game was fucking 0-0 for the longest period of time. And just like that, that shows you how good the Dodgers are. With a blink of an eye, a snap of a finger, all of a sudden you went to go get some chips and go get a snack, and you come back, and instead of the game being 0-0, you're looking up and it's fucking 3-0. Golly. Damn it. Jimmy Garcia, boo. And this is the second time he's given up a home run to hurt us. You might as well have kept Brian Wu out there if this was going to happen, right? We want to see our guys do well, but fuck, man. Nice job by the Dodgers. Bottom of the 7th, 3-0 LA. 1 out, 1-2 pitch from Jimmy Garcia to Miguel Rojas is outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fuck, man. And if the Mariners could actually hit, this wouldn't be too bad. And it doesn't feel like prior to Robles, Arozarena, and Turner, where if we were down 3, it felt like 6-0. It feels like 3-0. It doesn't feel like 6-0. Like you don't have to multiply it by 2 anymore. We have enough hitters where we feel like, okay, we're not like totally out of it. But the way that this game has gone, it's more likely we get to 1 or 2 or none rather than getting 3, 4, or 5, which is fucking damn unfortunate, man, after the way that Wu pitched, in this game in LA, in Dodger Stadium. But someone has got to be able to get going here against the Dodger bullpen once Stone goes out, and hopefully we can return the favor. Miguel Rojas flies out to Victor Robles, 2 away. Yeah, tough, man. I mean, again, Wu and Stone were just pitching an amazing duel. One of the best duels I've seen all year. And just one bad pitch from Wu, solo dinger by Gavin Lux, and he only had one bad pitch all game. I mean, it took into the 7th inning to have his first bad pitch, and it was crushed for a homer. And then all of a sudden you bring in Jimmy Garcia, and on his first or second pitch, gives up a fucking 2-run jack, and did Mad Max Muncy, and now it feels like the game is out of hand, But you never know. I've seen crazier shit happen. But we're going to need a miracle if we're going to come back in this one. Boo, Jimmy Garcia, boo. I ended up wanting him, and we got, we got 2 relievers, and we ended up getting, 2 guys that could help us, obviously, offensive and defensively, with Randy Arozarena and Justin Turner. But with the go, right? And Garcia. Fuck, man. Come on. Oh, great. Now they're going to bring in Taylor Saucedo, who's like the worst guy on the team with Mitch Garver. That's not going to make shit better. I mean, are we really trying to lose 8-0? Golly. And it shows you, baseball fans, how important a bullpen is, where the game could be, neck and neck. And just one minor mistake by the starter getting tired in the 7th led to a 1-0. Then they said, well, he lost it. His control. He's done. He can't pitch good anymore. Let's bring in Jimmy Garcia. He'll do well. And then he gives up a 2-run blast. And then now it feels like the game is out of reach. Little dribbler for another base hit. Fuck. Robles. Throw to second. And Tommy Edman. Tommy Edman there was one of his first hits for the Dodgers. And there goes Jimmy Garcia. Boo! But now it's worse because now we're going to be bringing in literally our worst guy in the bullpen in Taylor Saucedo. But the thing is, when Taylor needs only 1 out, he can get it sometimes. But when he comes in at the beginning of an inning, or if he needs 2 outs or more, he's screwed. He's going to end up not even getting a strikeout. Typically, it's like a, wild left, wild right, wild outside, wild inside, maybe a wild pitch behind the backstop, home run, RBI, hit, and then he gets benched. It's like, I haven't seen Saucedo Sauce have a good outing in a minute. And I guess this is what's going to happen with us. Tough. But you never know. I mean, again, once their, bullpen guys go in, we'll see how it goes. But again, even if we were able to get a little bit, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get 3 this late in the game. Seems like too much. Maybe if it was 1 or 2, maybe. But, it is what it is. Nice job by the Dodgers. And my dad's been, a Dodger fan since the 50s. I know he's watching right now. GG to all the Dodger fans. I mean, it's not over yet. Hopefully the outing that we have tomorrow with Bryce Miller and, going against Walker Buehler, we'll see how that goes. And then obviously we got Logan Gilbert against Flaherty. So I still think, we're going to have a shot to win at least 1 game in the series. But if we were going to win 2 out of 3, you had to win this one. Because I don't know if we're going to be able to win with Bryce Miller and Logan Gilbert back-to-back after this emotional loss. So realistically, we have a better chance of getting swept and maybe winning 1 game than us winning 2. But again, if we were going to win 2 out of 3, this was the one that we needed to set the tone. And obviously, we couldn't get it done. But we are going to have a chance tomorrow and obviously on Wednesday if the bats can come alive and if the pitching is halfway decent. All right, Megan, take care. I appreciate you. I'll get you some more photos tomorrow and as well as Wednesday if you're available. And again, we'll be live at the same time, 7 o'clock Pacific tomorrow, 7 o'clock Pacific on Wednesday. So same schedule for the next 3 days. Thank you so much for all your support. Appreciate you, Megan. Appreciate you, Mr. Williams. Bottom of the 7th, 3-0 Dodgers. Wow, throwing at Shohei's head, and they said that he went around for a strike. Don't be hitting my guy. Come on now. Come on, Sauce. Mitch Garver and Taylor Saucedo are definitely the two worst on the team. Pitches low and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Okay. 1-1 pitch. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 1 strike for Shohei Ohtani. Second in home runs, only trailing Aaron Judge, the 2 best players in baseball right now. Edman sliding into second, safe. Bottom of the 7th, 3-0 Dodgers. Come on, Mariners. Get out of this inning. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Let's see where we're at. And we're at 230 on donos, 70 to go to hit 300. Let's see where we're at on the likes. We're at 32. We need 8 more by the time the game is over to hit 40. Now we're at 33. We need 7 more to hit the goal for the stream for the night. 7 more likes by the time the game is over. So we have, 3 innings to get 7 likes? I think we'll be able to do that. We're at 33 now. Appreciate you guys. 7 more likes and we'll be at 40. 70 more dollars, we'll be at 300. Three-two pitch from Sauce, and it's a walk to Ohtani. Sauce is garbage. Next up is Mookie Betts. But it's not like many teams can go into LA and win, in Dodger Stadium. It's like we're going to give our, top end effort. We're going to try our best. It's not like we're playing down to the competition like we did against the Tigers. We're going to try to do our best out there, but there's not very many teams that are going to be able to go in here and win. Remember, the Dodgers are 38-22 at home, right? 73-52 overall. So it's not going to be easy to be able to get wins here. Again, like I mentioned, the magic number for the Mariners to win would have been 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And if you're looking at the scoreboard, that might be enough to be able to win this game today. Don't know if you're going to be able to get that here, obviously, in 2 innings. Doesn't feel like it. First pitch there to Mookie Betts with runners at first and second with 2 outs. Low and outside, 1 ball and no strikes from Sauce to Betts. One-oh pitch. Check swing. Did he go? He did. 1 ball and 1 strike. And when you don't have Mookie Betts, in the lineup for a good chunk of the year, not a good chunk, but, a decent chunk, when he ended up having the injury. And I ended up calling that game against the Reds and Ellie De La Cruz, where he ended up, breaking the bone or injuring, himself there. And obviously, writhing on the ground and in pain, but nice to see Mookie back. Mookie pops that one foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two pitch from Sauce to Betts. He's fighting it, chopped it foul. Two-two pitch from Sauce to Betts. Pitches outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. I've never seen a lefty bullpen guy miss his location more than Taylor Saucedo. It seems like all his momentum and his body weight, everything just goes left. Like everything is always wide left, low into the dirt. It's just not even in the zone. It's terrible. And just as I say that, he does the exact thing that I said he does all the time. Terrible. Terrible. Like we just gave up, and then you're just going to bring in the worst player to try to do what? Now its bases loaded now. Like, remember I just said a few minutes ago, are we trying to lose like 8-0, 7-0? And now we're actually at a point where that might happen. 1-0 turned into 3-0, and now with Sauce in the game, it might be fucking 7 or 8-0. Fucking A. Next up is Freddie Freeman. Bases loaded. 0-1 count to Freeman. A line drive to Polo, and they leave 3 stranded. Thank God. So at least we have a very small percentage right now, like maybe 1% chance. Let's say there's a 1% chance to tie it, and probably 0.5% chance, less than 1%, to actually come back and win 4-3. And there might be another run or 2 or 3 more that you get from LA, depending on who's our pitcher as far as our bullpen and whatnot. It's not like we're going to be bringing in our strongest guy, Andres Munoz, when we're down 3 runs. So this one could get ugly, but hopefully the sports gods are listening, and hopefully we can at least get 1 or 2 runs. I mean, preferably 3 would be great, but hopefully the bats will come alive. But again, Wu and Stone did a great job, but our bullpen stinks. Even guys that we thought we could trust, like Jimmy Garcia, are fucking up. And that was supposed to be like our number 2 guy behind Munoz. Doesn't look like a number 2 guy to me. End of the 7th, 3-0 Dodgers. I know my dad is happy. He's smiling. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 1-for-2, first baseman Justin Turner. Batting second, third baseman Hollywood Josh Rojas. And batting third, second baseman Demo Dylan Moore, unless they have an individual pinch hit for him. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We're at 230, 70 to go to hit the goal. And last time we checked, we were 7 likes away from our final goal of 40 likes. Oh my gosh. I haven't wanted a reliever, bullpen guy, to play more than Matt Brash in my entire fucking life. Like, that guy can pitch in the 6th, the 7th, even in the 8th or 9th as an emergency guy if you need him. And again, so underrated. And I feel like, he does get fucked up from time to time also, just like Munoz. But those guys you could trust. Matt Brash, you can trust. Andres Munoz, you could trust. Paul Sewald, when he was on the team, you could trust. But now Sewald is gone on the Diamondbacks. Brash has been hurt all year. And we have fucking paid the price without having Matt Brash. So I 100% agree with you, NA. If we had Matt Brash, I honestly believe that would have equated to at least 5 to 10 more wins than what we have right now. That guy is a gamer. He was so good. And hopefully he'll stay healthy next year, because we're going to fucking need him. And instead of being idiots and picking guys like Garver and Polanco, obviously in the off season, why not spend that money for pitchers? Why not spend it for a couple more starters, and you can just move them into the bullpen? That's going to be money, better spent than trying to get a positional player. Like, we have plenty of those in the farm system. Harry Ford, Lazaro Montes, Colt Emerson, Cole Young. We don't need Polos. We don't need Mitch Garvers. We need fucking bullpen guys. Spend that money. Spend $10-15 million a year on a pitcher, even if he's only going to pitch in the 6th inning or the 7th inning. I think that's money well spent. Instead of paying $10-11 million a year for a guy like Polo and Garver, you could have used that $10-11 million per year for 2 different pitchers that could have ended up helping us out in the bullpen. And that's, obviously as the season goes along, you start to see what the weakness is. People say, well, you got a top 3 pitching staff. Yeah, starters, but the bullpen stinks. It's bottom 5. Line drive to Mookie Betts from Justin Turner, 1 away, right? but strikeouts are bad. We got the lowest batting average as a team, in the low 200s, 30 out of 30. We strike out, one of the most out of, we're in the bottom, top 5 in strikeouts, number 1 lowest batting average. But again, those are all things that are true, right? But besides the hitting woes that we've had, I think that the bullpen is the number 1 problem. The hitting will be able to get better, over time. Like I said, at least you hope so. Finding the right order when JP Crawford comes back, maybe that'll be the little shot in the arm that we need. So that way we don't have some of these bench guys taking up spots like Leo Rivas or Demo or Haniger, or Garver. We can actually have Julio and JP with the strong lineup. And I thought the lineup on the card today was one of the best we've had all year with Wu. But again, one bad pitch by Wu, home run, and then Jimmy Garcia shitting the bed and giving up a 2-run homer ended up killing us. And that not only ripped our heart out, just like Mortal Kombat and Kano and Mortal Kombat 1, finish him. Like 1-0, we felt bad, but we felt, hey, we're going to come back. But then when Jimmy Garcia gave up that 2-run homer, at that point, the game's over. And I have to be real. It's not like I'm, acting like I'm saying something that's not true. Just based on watching this team since, 1985, watching every single game, all 162 from beginning to end, you kind of have a feel about your team. Now, is it possible the Mariners come back and get 1, 2, 3? Yeah, it is, but the vibe and the aura and the body language, like if you look at a lot of the Mariner faces and their body language, they're like, this game is over. They're ready to go eat dinner. And then they'll just be able to see what they can get tomorrow. And if not everyone believes that you're going to come back and win, you're not. You have to have that belief. And that's why teams like, the Dodgers and Yankees are so good, is that when they get down 3-0, they don't give no fucks. They're like, oh, we're down 3-0. Fuck it. Again, those two teams got better hitters, so they can act that way, better, World Series championships and a reputation. But they don't get worried when they get down 3-0, 4-0. They still are going to bring it every single game, based off their reputation. And hopefully one day the Mariners, if they can get new owners, new GM, new manager, that we can be like them one day, where we can have the confidence being down 3-0 and think, fuck, it's not over. We're going to keep battling. Top of the 8, 3-0 Dodgers, Joe Kelly in relief, and that's not good for us. Joe Kelly, he can fucking get a strikeout after strikeout. Oh, Sauce is garbage, man. I don't even know if he deserves to be in AAA, dude. He's terrible. Sauce, I mean, I get it. I like lefties typically, but he probably might be the worst lefty I've ever seen as far as bullpen guys. He is not good. And like I said, he has more bad outings than good. If you give him 10 tries, he might have one good game out of 10. That's not good. Like 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10. And I'm not even joking when I say that. Go back and look at a lot of his appearances. And normally when he's out there, he gives up big plays. Strike 3 to Dominic Canzone. Golly. It'd just be better for us if Taylor just wasn't even in our farm system. Just let him go to another team. That's how bad he is. If I thought that he had potential, that he could go to the farm in AAA, single A, high A, double A, and get better, I would say that. But I've seen enough of his career, and I've seen enough of him in a Mariner uniform, that he is the equivalent to what Mitch Garver is, when we end up having him in the box. You're not going to get anything out of him. Like, you might be able to get one good day out of Mitch Garver out of maybe 8, 9, 10 games. He might have a game where he gets 2 hits, or maybe that crazy home run that's unexpected. But we can't have players that are in the lineup that play good once or twice out of fucking 10 opportunities. That's not good enough. Oh man, tough one. But again, this is the Dodgers, and hopefully we'll still bring that energy and swagger, going in with Bryce Miller tomorrow and Logan Gilbert on Wednesday. Ay. Tough. Yeah, and like I said, I wouldn't have too many guys that I would cut. Mitch Haniger at the beginning of the year, numbers were one of the worst out of any right fielder based off analytics and stats. But keeping him on the team and letting Ty France go was the right decision, and he actually has had 2 walk-off wins for us in the last 2 weeks. Now, is he a good player now? No, he's kind of one of those guys that is at the end of his career, and he gets streaky, but I'm glad that he's still on the team, but he definitely is a bench guy, a rotational platoon guy now. Obviously when Julio comes back to center, Victor Robles should be the everyday right fielder, out there in the outfield, and Randy in left, Julio in center, and then Victor in right. But, it is what it is. But I mean, I wouldn't mind deactivating Garver and Sauce, but they're not going to do that. It would have been much better keeping Tom Murphy, the backup catcher from last year, than trying to spend the money and bring in those guys. We got plenty of guys in the farm, and a lot of guys that do good on their old team. When they come to Seattle, they usually don't do good. Or they do good in their first season, like Luis Castillo did, right? And helped us get to the playoffs in 2022 for the first time in 20-plus years. But if you look at his stats in 2023 and 2024, they have drastically gone down. And he is not the same pitcher as he was when he was on the Reds. And in that first year with us in the Mariners, he went from being the number one pitcher on the Mariners, and now he's probably the fifth best. I think I probably would take Bryce over him at this point. I don't have any confidence in him either. But every once in a while, he'll have a gem of a game. But I just feel like confidence-wise, he's the worst one. Like I got 90% confidence in Wu, Gilbert, Kirby, and I know they're going to get fucked up from time to time. And then with Miller, it's probably 50-50. And then with Castillo, maybe 25% of the time I feel confident in him. 75, I'm worried. Trent Thornton with a strikeout. They're on Teoscar Hernandez, one away. Next up for the Dodgers, second baseman Gavin Lux. And this team is so deep that they didn't even need Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, or Hernandez. Gavin Lux and Mad Max Muncy ended up being the heroes. And it shows you, a lot of people don't realize how good Lux and Smith and Muncy and Rojas, and obviously they got Edman, brand new from the Cardinals, and this was his first game. So again, sometimes it's those others that step up and end up doing something for the team. Also, guys like Justin Turner back in the day and guys like Kike Hernandez, both guys that went to the Red Sox and then found their way back onto the Dodgers or on another team. So, brutal. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Let's get to 40 likes, baby. And what a great dono day that we had today from DX, Mr. Williams, and Megan. Big swing and a miss. Count now is 1 ball and 2 strikes from Thornton Deluxe. We're at 34. We need 6 more likes to get to 40. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. That'll be our final goal for the night. And then 70 more on the dono train. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Gavin Lux. And I really like Kike Hernandez for the Dodgers too. He's a guy that's normally going to be batting in the low 200s, but again, he's one of those streaky players that has vibe, charisma. He can make plays on defense. He's a platoon guy that can play anywhere on the field, infield or outfield. And he sometimes will make that unexpected clutch home run, big hit, or RBI. And you need guys like that. Not everyone is going to be an Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, or Hernandez. And sometimes you need those other guys in the lineup to give you a spark. Gavin Lux with the walk. Next up is Will Smith. Bottom of the 8th, 3-0 Dodgers. Thornton throwing to Will Smith. That one chopped foul, buying in the count 0-1. But again, the Dodgers, spend a lot of money. They got lots of bodies that are involved, not just Magic Johnson. It'd be a dream come true if Seattle could be like the Dodgers one day, where we actually had owners and investors that actually wanted to build a championship squad instead of being cheap and just hoping that we overachieve. And that way that those big boys can make profits and they don't really care about improving the team. Us Mariner fans deserve, to be able to feel like the organization is actually trying. Popped up, 2 away. Next up is Mad Max Muncy. And then he was out for a good chunk of the year. And obviously you see how big he is at third base. Again, you pitch it right down the middle. He will strike out a lot, but again, if he connects, it might be gone. Little chopper, flip to first. And we're going to the top of the ninth, last chance for the Mariners. And realistically, the game will end 3-0. Now, if we get lucky and we show some effort and, get a little lucky, we might be able to get 1 or 2, but it still doesn't feel like we're going to score 3 or 4 to be able to tie, to go to extra innings or win. It just feels like that gut punch, by obviously Wu giving up the 1 home run, not a big deal. It hurt, but it was okay. We still felt like we were in it. But then once Jimmy Garcia came in and in his first or second pitch gave up that 2-run blast, then you already felt it's over. And again, it's not like we're being negative as Mariner fans. We just know our team, and we know how hard it is to hit. And again, if you got good starting pitching, Stone, and you got good, bullpen guys like we saw obviously there, unless you have a shitty bullpen pitcher, that's the only way the Mariners are going to be able to come back. Like in that last game against the Pirates, we got swept by the Tigers, and it took a pitcher that was 0-4 with an ERA of like 6 for us to start raking. We should be able to rake on guys not that have no wins, but I guess that's the story of what's going on. But you never know. I mean, we fingers crossed. I mean, I've seen crazier shit happen, but at least we're in the top of the order where if we were going to get a rally, this would be the guys that we would want up to start the rally. But we didn't bunt enough. And there's little things in the matchup that I would have liked to see, but it was a pitching duel. It just sucks that it ended, with Jimmy Garcia coming in as supposed to be our number 2 guy in the bullpen. And in the last 2 outings, he's given up 2 home runs. And we've lost because of him. Boo, Jimmy Garcia. Next up, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. And normally when Victor Robles gets a hit in his first 2 at-bats, we win. When he doesn't, we lose. And look at it. We're sitting right now with no hits out of him, and we're down 3-0. It all starts and ends with Victor Robles, just like J.P. Crawford as a leadoff hitter. Batting second, left fielder Randy Arozarena, and batting third, big dumper catcher Cal Raleigh, who could go for a homer, but I feel like homer is going to come in game 2 or game 3. I just didn't feel it tonight, and maybe we can get a solo jack from Cal. I would rather lose 3-1 than 3-0, but tough outing, man. One ball and one strike from Phillips to Robles. And obviously having Joe Kelly come in and Evan Phillips, that's not fair. Like, they actually got guys that can get the job done. Now, will Joe Kelly and Evan Phillips fuck up once in a while? Yeah, but you feel more confident with those guys than the ones that we are bringing in. Hopefully one day the Mariners will be able to have an Evan Phillips or a Joe Kelly, or maybe we'll get Paul Sewald to come back. But it really does show you need 3 guys: Matt Brash, Sewald, Munoz. If you don't have 3 guys to pitch 3 or 4 innings, you're screwed. If you only got one good guy and then you got about 5 or 6 that are average or bad, you are fucked. And that's what we're seeing. Last time we were good is when we had Brash in the 6th or 7th, and then we had Sewald and then Munoz, or Munoz and then Sewald. And we don't have that dynamic anymore. Popped up to Mookie Betts, 1 away. Victor Robles with an 0-4 day, and that's kind of how it's going for us here today. Can't win when your leadoff hitter goes 0 for 4. He means too much to our team for him to go 0 for 4. Same thing with J.P. Crawford if he was leading off going 0 for 4. Next up, 0 for 2 with a base on ball, Randy Arozarena. And Randy's been a little cold as of late as well. First couple games after the trade deadline, he was hot. But now, lately he's been, a little 50-50, and it seems like he's not really hitting with a whole lot of power. He's not really hitting home runs, and he's not really hitting it deep at the wall. A lot of his hits are kind of weak dribblers that are into the infield that he's got to run out, or they barely get past the shortstop, first, second, third baseman. So we'll see what we get here, but hopefully for the Mariners' sake, we haven't fully given up, but the body language suggests that they've already given up and they're ready for tomorrow, which is a damn shame. Pitch in the corner for a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And it just sucks because Brian Wu pitched a fucking gem. Can't we get some goddamn run support? Can't we get some goddamn 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits? So that way Brian Wu can add to his win total. You know, there's been times where our starting pitching stinks, where we give up 1 to 4 runs in the first 2 innings and we get blasted for 10 to 12 runs. Like, this was a game that we could have competed a little bit more. And we did for 7 fucking innings. 2-2 pitch. And on the corner, down goes Randy. Evan Phillips saying, see you later. And here's our last at-bat here, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And I don't think you're going to get a home run on Evan Phillips here. Now, I hope I'm wrong, and it ends up being 3-1. But, you know, if I have my ESP, you know, and I'm thinking about the sports gods, I really feel Cal will have a better chance to homer in games 2 or 3. And it might be game number 3 with Logan Gilbert when he homers. That's what my ESP is kind of telling me. But if we're really lucky, we'll get a homer out of Cal maybe tomorrow and on game number 3 on Wednesday. Or if he ends up homering in only 1 game, maybe he'll homer twice. Once from the left side and once from the right side, which he's done a couple times this year. But I just don't feel it here tonight. Well, we're not on a losing streak because we ended up winning the last game against the Pirates. So we didn't get swept. You know, we were on a 5-game losing streak and then we won 1 game. But instead of going on another winning streak, now we're about to drop a game. So, like I said, it's not easy being a Mariner fan, but I'm mentally tough and I've gone through the ups and the downs. I've had 4 good seasons out of 39 years. I'm built different. So Cal popped up and it looks like I was right. And that is the game. Final score, Dodgers 3, Mariners 0. And after Brian Wu, having a magnificent performance, all we did is have 1 bad pitch, 1 fucking bad pitch to Gavin Lux from Wu, right? And that made it 1-0. But we still felt like we were in it. And then you brought in Jimmy Garcia, right? And what happened? Muncy says, fuck you, see you later, 2-run blast. Now the game is over, and it was. And I just hate that for the Mariners, but yeah, well, it doesn't look like we're going to have any 100-win teams. I was looking actually at a graphic from Codify that does baseball analytics and metrics, and they were saying that this might be the first time where even the Dodgers, and the high-end teams, the Yankees, Guardians, we might not have a team hit 100 wins. So, oh, man. But one thing that was good is we had a lot of goats in here. We had some amazing pictures, right? We ended up hitting an amazing goal on the Dono goal. We hit 230, and in some streams, we only hit 5, 10, 15, or 20. Last couple streams, we were only hitting a fraction of the initial goal. So it feels good. Thank you to Mr. Williams. Thank you to Megan. Thank you to DX, Reflect, and a few of the others like Jason. I appreciate you guys very, very much. And hopefully with Bryce Miller tomorrow, we'll play a little bit better. But Gavin Stone, 7 innings pitch, 10 Ks. You're getting big hits. And it wasn't Ohtani and Betts and Freeman and Hernandez per se, Lux and Muncy, but it shows you how tough this team really is. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, well, the graphic today said we had a 22% chance. We'll see how it goes. But, again, I'm going to keep, doing this team. I'm going to keep riding with this team, and again, I'm still going to be doing 150 plus games. Again, someone's got to be the guy, to root for this team, even when it's hard to root for them sometimes. So I love you guys very, very much. Thank you to everyone that has supported with the likes and subs and the donos and the shares. Let's see where we're at here on the likes before we end up ending the stream. Where are we at right now? So we're at 35. We need 5 more likes to hit 40. Now we need 4 more likes to hit 40. We're at 36. But again, we ended up having a great dono day. And again, I'll be live tomorrow and on Wednesday, same time, same place, 7 p.m. Pacific. And tomorrow will be a gem, Bryce Miller versus Walker Buehler. And then we're going to have Logan Gilbert versus Jack Flaherty. So I still think that we have a chance to win 1 out of 3. but we'll figure it out, obviously, as we go into these matchups. You guys have a great rest of your night. Final score, Dodgers 3, Mariners 0. GG to all the Dodger fans, including my dad, has been a fan since the 50s. And again, I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us? Your boy Orion, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang, go Mariners. Still love you.